And I'm back. Be honest, okay? Be honest with me, please. Did you notice I was gone? Did any of you think I never left? Because for the last week, I've been using a green screen. I tried to make it look like you couldn't tell. I used my backdrop or a photo of the backdrop, but now I'm here in physical space again. Like I can, pick up my cool colored PlayStation 5 and it's actually there. And we have a lot to talk about, okay? There's some good and some bad. Some cool new things have been revealed on the Nintendo scene, and then there's a dangerous thing that just got announced, and I don't know how we're going to take it. So good morning, Mario, and good morning, Switch fans. Hope you're all doing fantastic. I love to see ya, and I appreciate you so much. I also appreciate good memory cards, and this is the best you can get for Switch. All right, the Lexar Play card goes up to 1 terabyte, which means it'll store every Switch game you can possibly play, and then some. And it's the safest, fastest, bestest on the market. I love this thing. There are smaller sizes as well to fit your need, and eventually, I think every Switch needs a memory card. So make sure to click the link in the description down below. Every time you do so, it helps support what I do here on SwitchForce, and I really need your help because I have competition now, okay? I really need you guys to rally the support around SwitchForce because there's a new Switch channel in town. Masahiro Sakurai. Sakurai himself is in the YouTube game. He's on the scene. He got 200,000 subscribers in his first day, which is terrifying. That's a lot. There's a lot of Sakurai fans, a lot of Smash players. The dude has a really cool channel, though. I can't lie. I watch the videos. I love them. It's about game design and sharing his insights from all his years as the Smash God and the Kirby creator and all of that. I mean, it's really nifty. I think he brings a super interesting perspective that is different from the typical developer perspective we hear often in, stories and articles and videos. I love it. I'm going to be watching his videos. I think there's a lot to learn, whether you're interested in game design or just want to see how his mind works. Fascinating stuff. But I'm not going to put a link to his channel down there. I'm going to put a link to my live stream tomorrow. We got the big, bold, awesome Splatoon, Harvestella, anything else? I don't know, but the Treehouse presentation that popped out of nowhere is coming tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern. We're going to be streaming a little early at noon Eastern. That link is in the description. Come stream with me and watch me. If Sakurai streams it, don't watch it. We'll have more fun over here, I promise. And better hair, all right? That's tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. Join me for that stream. Hopefully you will. Nintendo, the Switch is being joined by a new scary piece of technology. Okay, this is, on one hand, it's good, but it could be very bad. So let me set this up for you, okay? It was announced today that a new de novo Nintendo Switch emulator protection technology is out there and can be integrated into Switch games. Now, the positive side of this is, oh yay, help Switch games from getting pirated, help them from hitting emulators, and keep the Switch games locked down. The bad side is, de novo is known to be a thorn in the side of many, many PC players' experiences. Because when companies decide to integrate de novo's anti-piracy DRM, oftentimes it impacts the performance of the games. Something about it clogs up and slows down the gameplay. That is horrible for a Switch. Especially a Switch, because think about the Switch. We're not playing with power, right? We're playing with like itty bitty hardware. We're playing with like a little bit. We don't have a lot of extra stuff to work with. So if they slow down the Switch even more, that is not good. Now, this is not something that Nintendo is endorsing, right? This is not Nintendo sponsored, so they're not coming through and saying, oh, we're putting this on all our games. But it could be up to individual companies, developers, and publishers to integrate this new de novo Nintendo Switch emulator protection technology and put it into their games, and who knows how it affects. Now maybe they've worked out the kinks. Maybe they can find a way that it will not slow down performance, but I feel like it's going to. If it happens on Steam, yuck. Some developers have even had to remove de novo from their Steam versions because it caused such chaos with the player base. So I really hope, we're already struggling third-party wise with delays, and it's coming out day and date, and it's not. So I really don't want another thorn in the side of Switch third-party games. We need them to run as good as they can. They already don't run perfect. Please. We gotta watch this. It'll be interesting to see the first game that takes advantage of this Nintendo Switch emulator protection. I understand we don't want games to be emulated. If this DRM does have a negative impact on performance, like its PC counterpart, and if it is successful keeping games from being pirated, it will spread. and then the little glimmer of hope we have from our third-party games, the ones that run really well and function really well and make Switch fun for people that want more than just Nintendo exclusive and indies, we could see a widespread world where performance goes backwards when we've been asking for performance to go forwards. Everybody's like, we need a Switch Pro. And then here comes de novo, looking to send us back to the Stone Ages. So best case scenario is that this is either not widely adopted or does not impact performance. And worst case scenario is a world where Hogwarts Legacy is barely playable because it's chugging along at such a reduced frame rate, thanks to Warner Brothers not wanting people to get magical on other emulated Switch sources. I don't know. It's freaky when something like this happens because you don't want to see a negative thing hit a system that has so much success when you have a system that is doing so well and it's trying to squeeze as much as it can out of its hardware. I don't know. I hope this ends up being something that we're like, okay, it wasn't a big deal. But you know how some of these things spread. It can go from nothing to wildfire. And games did pick up de novo hardcore on PC. They got a lot of pushback. I hope they do it right this time. I hope they figured it out. Yesterday was Gamescom's opening night, and if you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. So my review of the show is, but in terms of Switch, there were a few things announced. All right, there's a Pokemon Mini Cooper. Very random. Don't know how that even got integrated in the show. Pikachu Mini Cooper. All right, that's one thing. Tales from the Borderlands is coming out October 21st. We saw this date leaked, but the Switch version is confirmed. Day and date. Oh, dear God, please, 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 please happen. It's called New Tales from the Borderlands. It is made by Gearbox. So this is not done by Telltale, but it is done by former Telltale developers, and Gearbox kind of picking up the mantle and continuing. This one could be good. Tales from the Borderlands had good humor, good story, and important choices, so keep an eye. That's October 21st. Now, we also confirmed that Sonic Frontiers is November 8th. They showed some new areas, which is good. The new characters in this trailer, though, look awful. They look like a Fisher-Price knockoff. I'm sorry. They look awful to me, and if you have a different take, I'd love to hear it. Does this new character look good to you? November 8th is close, so we'll get to play the game for ourselves sooner, rather than later. But I don't know. Despite them showing off new areas, a palette swap into a desert or a city doesn't do much if the gameplay is struggling, and I feel like from what I've seen, the gameplay is struggling. So maybe Sonic Frontiers ain't your scene. Maybe Moving Out 2 is. Now this is announced for 2023 for Nintendo Switch. Moving Out 1 was a really cool game. It was like moving version of Overcooked, right? So instead of in the kitchen, you're like moving. And now this one's gonna have crossplay and more modes and obviously more stages and a nice art style. I like the art style upgrade that Team 17 and SMG Studio have brought. It'll come to the Switch sometime next year. No window as of now, so I'm guessing it's a ways away. But it does look pretty neat if you're into sort of those cooperative, spicy but competitive multiplayer Switch games. Now, Indie World is something that I thought would get announced this week, but now I'm pegging it for next week. I still think it happens. There was not much Switch presence at Gamescom. The Treehouse tomorrow is on bigger titles. Indie games need their shine, and with PAX West, September 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, maybe the perfect time is next week. It's still the tail end of August, and it would still be before Nintendo Direct, or maybe there's no Indie World and maybe we get a Direct. I don't know, but high alert next week. I'm putting us on red level Mario Plumber Pants alert. Donkey Kong in a bad mood. His banana horde got bopped level of alert. Presentations have been coming. I know we have one this week. I think we have another next week. Let me know in the comments if you think it's going to be Indie World, Direct, or nothing. But yeah, that'll do it. I am back in the saddle. We have a big Splatoon week. We got the Treehouse stream tomorrow. We got the Splatfest stream coming up on Saturday. I hope to see you there. It's going to be a ton of fun. And until that time, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. I love you a lot. Appreciate you even more. Thanks again. SwitchForce out.